Hey, so today's sailing tip is nothing to do with sailing directly, but it's really about trailers and trailer tires. You can't get to a regatta without good tires. You can't win the regatta if you can't get there in the first place. So a couple of you might know, watching this, that I had some challenges getting to a regatta recently. Back in September, we had our Tahoe Fleet Championships up in Lake Tahoe, about 200-mile drive from the San Francisco Bay Area. And as I was driving up Highway 80, keeping up with traffic, doing, 60, 65 miles an hour, I had a trailer tire blow out. That's pretty scary. And thankfully, my boat wasn't damaged. Thankfully, no damage to the trailer. And I was able to pull over quickly. And thankfully, I just happened to be about 1 or 2 miles from a Les Schwab. So I was kind of driving through eastern Sacramento, with my boat trailer bouncing around all over the place at 5 miles an hour. And they got me turned around pretty good, pretty quickly, with some good tires, and I got lucky. I ended up missing the first race of the regatta, but that ended up being my discard, and ended up being able to pull things together and get third in the regatta, but shouldn't happen in the first place. So here are 6 tips. Tip number one, take care of all this stuff in the off season, your tires, your trailer, your boat maintenance, all that. Tip 2, go to a reputable place. So here we are at America's Tire. It's a good spot. They've done good work for me in the past. So this is the one in Hercules, California. Tip number 3, make sure before you leave that your tires are not too old. I had a trailer place sell me a tire that was about 4.5 years old, and you're not supposed to keep tires after 5 or 6 years anyway. So what this says 2725. This means it's made in the 27th week of 2025. There's 52 weeks in a year. Half of 52 is 26. So this would put us into around the 26th week of the 27th week of the year. Half of 52 is 26. So week 26 is probably the first week in June. So this is probably this is probably the second week in June. Finally, math is hard. Okay, so anyway, second week in June. We're in November, so this tire that I just bought is less than 6 months old, so good stuff. Definitely check that before you get out the door. Second thing to check before you get out the door is what's the max PSI. You can see here the max PSI is 60 PSI, so I had them inflate to 60 PSI. Now this is a spare tire, so it'll gradually lose air over time, so I'll check it before I have a regatta. But, make sure we're all good to go if we do have to swap it in. Now, oftentimes we're driving to regattas, it's nighttime, and if there is an issue, you have to change a tire in the middle of the night with your headlamp on. Always bring a headlamp in case you have to, do maintenance on your boat, your trailer at night. So you write it down here. So, because it might be really hard to see. It's going to be probably really hard to read, in fact, I can't even find where it even is the 60 PSI. Here it is. I can't even, am I going to find that at night? No, I'm not going to find that at night. So instead I write it right near the valve stem, 60 PSI. And then if I'm looking so that's tip number, what are we on? We're on tip number, I can't even remember, maybe tip 3 or 4, I can't remember. That's tip 5, okay. And then I guess the second half of tip 5 is write down the size of the lug nuts that you use to put this tire onto the axle. Write that down here too. So if you're going through your toolbox and you're trying to find the right wrench, 21 millimeters. And the last tip is, I know a lot of people like to mount their spare tire on their trailer. I'm not a fan of that because, you're basically, your tire's going to degrade in the sunlight over time. UV rays are not very kind to rubber. So put your tire indoors in your garage, your storage shed, wherever. And so that way, pull it out for when you do the regatta, and that way you'll be good to go, in good shape, should you need it for the regatta. So anyway, those are the tips. Again, not directly related to sailing, but you can't win a regatta or place well if you can't get to the regatta, and you can't get to the regatta without good tires. So hope that was helpful. Let me know what you think in the comments.